In this video, I'm going to explain how to move or copy materials from one section to another. Inevitably, sometimes when you're bidding a project, you'll submit a price or you get in the middle of the estimate when you've already input a bunch of materials. Then you figure out that your customer or client wants you to change the pricing, or they want you to bid things different. In that case, what you have to do is you have to move materials from one section to another. Let me explain what I mean. In Rhino, when you build out sections, of course, you build out, the purpose of sections is to separate pricing. Okay, now I won't get into explaining the use of sections right now because I want to explain how to move or copy materials, okay? So let's say that I input some materials that I know are in the electrical section, but they should be in the panel and feeder conduit section. So the way that you move or copy materials is you go to the section you want to move or copy them from. In this case, it's the electrical section. You go over to the right and click View Takeoff. Now, when the window opens, there's going to be buttons up here that allow us to move and copy. Okay, so next thing you want to click on the Move Copy button. When you do this, window will pop up. You can read the whole thing, but basically I just click Continue, okay? Read it so you can understand what it says, but you'll want to just continue. So click the little arrow that says Continue Next. Okay, now what happens is it populates all the materials in that section. Okay, let me explain this from left to right. There's a checkbox down the left-hand side next to each line item. I'm scrolling down. These are different items in the section, different materials. And again, I'm pretending in this, I'm using the case that I have to move these panels and circuit breakers to a different section. I have to actually move them. Now, to explain this, the first thing you do is you check the items that you want to move or copy. So in that case, I like to check the check boxes below them also. I check all the lines if they're all in a row, including the dash lines here that separate them from each other. If I don't move those dash lines, they'll all end up in this section. So what I've done here now, I've checked all the boxes of the items I want to move. In this case, some panels and some circuit breakers. Okay, now when I scroll up to the top here, let me show you the next selection. This drop down right here, see this? It says New Section. So I can move or copy materials to a new section, and I click the drop down, I can move or copy them to any other section. Okay, so what this drop down is it's a list of sections. So it allows me to move or copy items to either a new section, back to this section, because this is the electrical section. I can actually copy the items or those items back into this section. Now, there's instances where you might want to do that, but you can. I want to explain it. And so obviously the next thing you do is you click on the section that you want to target things to or move things to. So I'm going to click on panels and feeders in this case. I want to move these panels and circuit breakers to the panels and feeder conduit wire section. Now over to the right you have a move button and a copy button and a back to estimate button. So here's your choice. You can either move these items, and when you do that, it's going to pull them out of here and move them to the section that you selected up here. Or I can copy them. If I copy them, of course, it's going to leave them here, but it's going to copy them to another section. Now, in this case, I'm just going to move them. So when I go up to the top and click Move, give it a second here. It's spinning up at the top. Okay, now you see those items disappeared from this section. Okay, now I'm going to click Back to Estimate. I'm going to show you where they went. Click Back to Estimate. I'm going to go into the panels and feeder conduit and wire section. I'm going to go over to the right. I'm going to just click View to look because I'm not going to edit. I'm going to click View, and here we go. Here's the panels right down here and the circuit breakers, lines 9 through 22 that I moved. Okay, so this is a really time-saving feature. Like I said, when you get into an estimate and then all of a sudden your customer comes back saying, hey, would you please break out the price of this or that? Then you have to move those materials to a different section to break out the pricing accurate. Okay, time-saving feature there for you. And the only thing I have to add to that is if you'd like help with that, after you've clicked on Move Copy or you've drilled down into one of these sections, you can click Help, okay? When I click Help, it opens up the Help menu. There it is. I'm going to move it over here. And you see how it has different instructions here to move or copy items to a different section. There's your instructions, okay? So always rely on the help feature also when you're in Rhino and need some help.